Front-end developers might know this game already. You type top JavaScript frameworks into Google, and you get so many JavaScript frameworks from which to choose. There are always more choices for JavaScript frameworks, and it's always tough to choose a JavaScript framework for front-end development. So what are front-end developers looking for in their tech stacks? As a full-time developer, I know it comes down to rapid development and easy to make UIs rather than try to be decisive. We 450 plus developers. The big 10 JavaScript frameworks that currently dominate the market in terms of popularity and usage are: Number 1. React. React is the definite leader in the JS world. This JavaScript framework uses a reactive approach and also introduces many of its own concepts for front-end web development. To use React, you'll have to learn to use a plethora of additional tools to reach high flexibility in front-end development. For example, hrace a less exhaustive list of libraries you can use with React: Redux, Movex, Fluxy, Fluxible, or Reflux.js. React can also be used with jQuery, Ajax, Fetch, API, Superagent, and Axios. React is constantly working towards improving concurrent mode. To take this forward, React CONF 2019 wrapped up last month, where the React team talked about improving concurrent mode and the suspense model. Both the features make React apps more responsive by rendering trees without blocking threads. This allows React to focus on high-priority tasks like responding to user input. Number 2. Angular 2 to Angular 9. Angular 9 will mark a turning point revealed by the Angular team at the recent Angular Connect 2019. According to the update, the team is planning to make the Angular Ivy compiler available for all apps. The main benefit of Angular Ivy is that it is able to reduce the size of applications. Angular today has become very advanced and modular to use for front-end development. Previously, you could insert a link to the Angular.js library in the main HTML file. But now you can do the same by installing separate modules. Angular's flexibility is commendable. That's why Angular's 1x versions are still in demand. However, many developers currently rely on Angular 2+ because of its MVC architecture, which has changed substantially to a component-based architecture. Angular has a couple of additional challenges. You're almost obliged to use TypeScript to ensure type safety in Angular apps. TypeScript makes the Angular 2+ framework not so pleasant to work with. Angular's ecosystem is comprised of: for quick project setup, Angular's command line interface is helpful. Developers will get a set of modules for Angular projects. Angular uses Zone.js, a JavaScript library, to implement zones in Angular apps. TypeScript and CoffeeScript both can be used with Angular. For communication with server-side apps, Angular uses Rx.js and the observable pattern. Angular Augury for debugging Angular apps. Angular Universal for creating server-side apps with Angular. Angular 2 is a complete JavaScript framework with all the tools a modern front-end developer needs. You can choose Angular if you don't like to work with additional libraries as with React. Number 3. Vue. The SNYK JavaScript Framework Report for 2019 is out. The report mainly focused on security risks in both React and Angular. The concept of Vue has been taken from Angular and React. But Vue is better in many ways. I'll talk about its features, but first check out what the SYNK report says about Vue's front end. Security: Vue has been downloaded 40 million times this year and records only 4 direct vulnerabilities. All of them have been fixed. For any front-end developer unfamiliar with Vue, let's clarify several points. With Vue, you store component logic and layouts along with stylesheets in one file. This is the same way React works, without stylesheets, to let components talk to each other. Vue uses the props and state objects. This approach also existed in React before Vue adopted it, similar to Angular. Vue wants you to mix HTML layouts with JavaScript. You have to use Vue directives such as vbind or vif to interpolate values from the component logic to templates. One of the reasons why Vue is worth considering instead of React is because of the Redux library that's often used in large-scale React applications. As explained in the React section, when a React plus Redux app grows bigger, You'll spend a lot of time applying small changes to multiple files instead of actually working on features. The Vuex library, a Flux-like state management tool designed for Vue, seems less unwieldy than Redux. If you're choosing between Vue and Angular, the reasons to opt for Vue over Angular can be reduced to the following. Angular is an overcomplicated, full-fledged framework with a restrictive nature. Vue is much simpler and less restrictive than Angular. Another advantage of Vue over Angular and React is that you don't have to learn JavaScript once more. Vuex comes with a dedicated library for application management. Vuex is similar to the concept of Flux. You will get VueLoader for components in Vue, JS dev tools for Chrome and Firefox browsers, Vue Resource and Axios tools for communication between Vue and the backend source. Vue.js support Nuxt.js for creating server-side applications with Vue. Nuxt.js is basically a competitor to Angular Universal. You will get a week's JavaScript library with Vue syntax that is used for mobile app development. Vue is excellent in terms of its workflow to other frameworks. I might opt for Vue because it's less complicated than React and Angular.js, and a great choice for developing enterprise-level apps. Number 4. Ember. Ember 3.13 released this year with some new updates and features. Ember is just like Backbone and Angular.js, and is also one of the oldest JavaScript frameworks. But with the new update, Ember 3.13 is compatible with new bug fixes, performance improvements, and deprecation. Tracked property updates have also been introduced that allow simpler ways of tracking state change in the ergonomic system of Ember apps. Ember has a relatively intricate architecture which will allow you to quickly build huge client-side applications. It realizes a typical MVC JavaScript framework, and Ember's architecture comprises the following parts: adapters, components, controllers, helpers, models, routes, services, templates, util, and add-ons. One of Ember's best features is its command line interface tool. The Ember CLI helps front-end developers be highly productive and lets them complete projects on time. You can not only create new projects with ready setups, but you can also create controllers, components, and project files using automatic generation. Ember CLI tool for quick prototyping and managing dependencies. Ember server built into the framework for the development of apps. You'll get Ember.js library and Ember data for data management. Handlebars template engine for Ember applications. QUnit testing framework for Ember. Ember inspector development tool for Chrome and Firefox browsers. Ember observer for public storage and Ember add-ons to implement generic functionalities. Although Ember is underrated, it's perfect for creating complex client-side apps. Number 5. Backbon.js. Backbone is a JavaScript framework based on the MVC architecture. In Backbon.js, the view of MVC helps implement component logic similarly to a controller. Backbone View can use engines like Mustache and _JS. Backbone is an easy-to-use JavaScript framework that allows for quick development of single-page applications. To use Backbon.js to the fullest extent, you'll have to choose tools: Chaplin, Marionette, Thorax, Handlebars, or Mustache, and so on. If you need to design an app that has different types of users, Backbone collections, arrays, can be used here to separate the models. Backbone events can be used with Backbone models, collections, routes, and views. The Backbone library consists of events, models, collections, views, and router. _JS, a JavaScript library with helper functions that you can use to write cross-browser JavaScript. You can use template engines such as Mustache and jQuery TMPL. Backplug online repository with a lot of ready solutions for Backbone-based apps. Backbone generator CLI for building Backbone apps. Marionette, Thorax, and Chaplin JavaScript libraries to develop an advanced architecture for Backbone apps. Backbon.js is a perfect choice for front-end and back-end development as it supports REST APIs that are used to synchronize the front-end and back-end. Number 6. Meteor. By the end of 2011, a web framework called Skybreak was released. In a few months, the team renamed it to Meteor. As of now, it is on version 2.1. Using just plain JavaScript, you can build applications to be used across multiple platforms, including but not limited to Android and iOS. The Meteor.js framework offers full-stack solutions. Meteor promotes itself as the fastest way to build JavaScript apps. Truth be told, it does have a point. The smart packages save you a lot of time and code lines when adding various features. JavaScript libraries real-time development also speeds up collaborations as each and every layer of the application updates automatically. Additionally, using just one coding language helps to smooth the learning curve and avoid constantly switching contexts. Number 7. Mithril. Mithril is a client-side JavaScript framework that is used primarily in developing the single-page applications, as there are no derived functions from a base class. The framework's implementation is more straightforward. It's small, under 8 KB zip pack, fast, and provides routing and XHR utilities out of the box. It has a few features similar to React. Number 8. Node.js. Node.js is a server-side JavaScript runtime environment which works on cross-platforms and is open source. The framework is capable of driving asynchronous I/O with its event-driven architecture. It works in the JavaScript runtime environment and shows Java's similar properties like threading, packaging, or forming loops. The library of Node.js is fast when it comes to code execution, as it is built on the V8 JavaScript engine of Google Chrome. All the APIs are asynchronous, which means that its server does not wait for the API to come back with data. Here the server calls the APIs one by one and keeps moving to the next one while using a notification mechanism of events to generate a response from the API called previously. This makes it fast too. Number 9. Polymer. The Polymer is an open-source JavaScript library developed by Google which can create the website's elements without going into a complex level. Also, it supports both one-way and two-way data binding, hence making a more extensive application area. Polymer.js is a JavaScript library built on top of the web standard APIs that provides the simplest way to create custom HTML elements. It gives the polyfills for creating customized and reusable elements. It is used for the creation of reusable widgets in web documents and applications. It uses Google Material Design to develop mobile applications for fast and easy to development of mobile applications. The custom elements are distributed across the network and allow users to use these elements with the help of HTML imports. Number 10. Oralia. Oralia framework is the latest version of JavaScript which can be used to implement any interface. It is the next generation of the framework for developing far more robust websites. The framework of Oralia can extend the HTML for various purposes including data binding. Also, its modern architecture ensures that the purpose of tool is for interpretation client-side and server-side at a time.